lovelies, and welcome back to another cash stuffing. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Lily. I am a 25-year-old zero-based cash budgeter and stuffer up in Maine. I have been doing the budget by paycheck method of cash budgeting for 4 years now, and this system has provided me with the tools to pay down debt and to purchase my home that I live in now with my boyfriend and our 3 dogs. And we do all things cash budgeting over here, so if any of that sounds like content that may interest you, I sincerely hope that you consider hitting that subscribe button and sending some support my way. But happy Cash Stuffing Tuesday, everyone. How are we doing? How are we feeling? You guys, I just have to say today was a good day. I don't know. I just felt productive and like I was on top of things. We cleaned the house for Mother's Day weekend and we did a pretty good, I'd say, clean. And I don't know, I just feel like we've done a good job at keeping it that way. It tends to get a little messy, unorganized pretty quickly. And I feel like we've done a good job we've done a good job just keeping things, together. I got some laundry done and I actually, folded it as I was taking it out of the dryer. So I just put everything away. Usually the clean laundry just stays in a basket for a little bit. So that felt good. I loaded the dishwashers and did all the dishes and that's done. I just picked up around the kitchen, the entryway and the living room and everything. My friend came over and we worked out for the first time in a very long time. Which, I'm sore already just from standing up so long today, but that felt good. It was a really nice day weather-wise, and I made dinner tonight without having to go get extra groceries, just things that we had around the kitchen, and there's enough that we should have some leftovers tomorrow. So that's just, I don't know. It's just been a good day. I got a lot of orders done and prepped and things like that. So yeah. Anyway, let me know. Did you guys have a good day? If so, let me know. If not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish every day could be a good day. But anyway, today we're here to stuff my second full-time paycheck for the month of May. Let's go to week 2. I do sell this digital planner in my shop and I have been getting some questions about it. I sell the digital planner in my shop in a couple different styles and colors and stuff like that, but it is a PDF with workable links and I import it straight into the GoodNotes app. I know that it's compatible with Apple products. I'm not entirely sure. There's been people in the past who have let me know different apps and things for, Android and Windows or whatever other but I use the GoodNotes app to actually write in it, to highlight, erase, to save, to duplicate, and things like that. So if you're interested, that is linked in the description. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the last day that my shop is on sale. It is discounted right now as well as everything in my shop. So if you're interested in anything, check out the link in the description box. But I believe we should have $507 here after leaving gas money in the bank. So we have 100, 50, 200, 220, 40, 60, 80, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 400, for 10, 20, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 86, 7, 8, 9, 90, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 500, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Beautiful. I am feeling a little bit better. I just have this random little, it's not even like a tickle. Sometimes it's a tickle, but most of the time it's just like a little dry cough in the back of my throat. So I do apologize for that, but I am feeling better. I missed 2 days of my medication out of the 5, but I caught up today. So I'll try to remember to take tomorrow's and then we'll go from there. Now, before we get too far into things, I do have some new products that I wanted to show you. I just realized that I left the dashboard downstairs. Shoot. Okay. But maybe I'll show that another time, or I'll do my best to just pop a picture up on the screen. But it says it's a little explicit, so I apologize. I do have some spicy ones, but it says look at you with a little like hand pointing at you, and then it says saving money and SHIT. So look at you saving money and bleep. I just thought that was cute. It's A6. I had that like phrase in my mind for a while, and I had it written down at the office, so I just created that. So there's that. And then I've had these as well, made and ready to be like have pictures taken, but I just never did. But they're basically these little minis. They are vellum on the front and back, and they just have categories in a bunch of different colors and fonts. So I just have a bunch of these. I've had these for so long, just sitting there made and ready to go. I just haven't taken pictures of them. So with the other new listings, I finally just did, but they look like this. They're just a little, I would recommend doing like a tri-fold. I've actually never put money in them, so let's see. Yeah, so they're definitely like little minis. I probably should have put that in the other way just to make it look nice, but you can get different fonts and obviously a bunch of different colors. Fold the money however you'd like, but it does fit right in there. They are minis, so if you have like a smaller wallet or you just want to stuff these into your wallet without... I made a couple of like the same ones, so I wish I had more variety to show you, but the fonts and color options are available in the shop if you're interested. And then I'm going to show you these ones because we will be putting these into my wallet, so just bear with me. This is the last one. But I was playing around with some like peekaboo style envelopes. So they're vellum on the front, they're fully clear on the back, but then they have this little corner that peeks through. So it's like frosted on the front and then the corner kind of peeks through. I don't know. I was just kind of playing around with things, and this is my first like peekaboo style envelope that I made, but I liked them, so I'm like, might as well list them. But I also made them in A7 for my wallet. So I'm just going to organize these really quickly. Groceries, miscellaneous, gas, ones, receipt, and bank. I think that's all the categories that I have. I am just going to pull these out. I've been putting my coins in here because they don't fit. I'm just going to take that out because that is broken. I think that's all the categories that I have. These ones are still available in my shop. I might end up putting them back, honestly, but I just wanted to try out the new ones, see how they look and feel in there. I don't know. Okay, so let's start stuffing. So groceries is empty right now from the old one, but it is getting 65. So I did 20. These ones are just too nice to like fold up and spend. I'm going to take some of the little rattier ones. 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 3 5s. Do that. Okay. So 20, 30, 40, 55, 60, and 65. And I kind of want to just fold it like that, maybe. Maybe a little bit more. I've never done like this, sort of. But I want to be able to see the bills in the little peekaboo spot. So, see, so cute. Just a little bit bigger than folding it in half, but cute. Okay, so miscellaneous has $2 left over, so those will be set aside, and I will put those into the $1 challenge at the end. I am going to replace it with 3, 4, 5 ones, and I just keep these in here so that I don't have to break a bigger bill.
say the change, say like I have a 5 and a 10 left in groceries and then my total is $6, rather than breaking the 10, I will take the 5 and then a 1 from here. So that's sort of what that is for. I still have a couple dollars left on this gift card, but the gas station for that where the gift card is nowhere near me. I do pass one every time I go to my friend's house, but I always just forget. So I do budget my gas money. I leave that money in the bank because I use the Upside app. So when I get gas, I get cash back. And if you are interested in signing up for Upside, there is a link in the description of every video. If you use my code when you sign up, it's also on the screen. You will get cash. You get extra cash back on your first fill up. It basically just makes gas cheaper in a way by giving you cash back when you get gas. So highly recommend that. And then for ones, I did have some ones left over. Every time I get ones back in change from my spending throughout the week, I put them in here so that I don't spend them and they can go into the $1 challenge. So I have 2 more that we will do that. And then I do have some receipts to scan into Fetch. And I just realized that I also put another receipt into my bank envelope. So there's that. But Fetch, if you didn't know, is a similar rewards app where you take pictures of your paper receipts from anywhere, and the app will give you points which you can rack up and then redeem for gift cards rather than straight cash like Upside. So if you're interested in signing up, you will get extra points for your first receipt if you sign up using my code. There is a QR code. If you just screenshot the screen right now, or take a picture of it with your phone if you're watching on a TV or a computer, it should bring you right there. You sign up and then you scan a receipt from the last 2 weeks and they will give you extra points for that. So that's it for my wallet, and we are going to put my change right in the jar. You guys, this adds up. I probably at the end of the year will have around 100, maybe a little bit more. Typically is what we end up saving in just spare change. So every time you get change back via like coins, definitely set those aside because every little bit counts. It adds up, I promise. So starting with our sinking funds, I am adding $5 into the dogs. Aria got groomed today and I pulled that from my buffer. Austin's going to pay me back his half and then I will I'll pull that out and make the change. But we have 100, 150, and 155 for right now. It was 100 total, so it'll be 50 each. So I'll just actually, I might as well. You know what? I'm just going to leave it for now. Not that it matters. I'm going to skip back though to Bridesmaid. I do have to update and shoot. Also, I did get new magic erasers and I forgot them, but hopefully I'll remember them next time. They're just in my office downstairs. But we had 615 in Bridesmaid and I am going to be making t-shirts for everyone, and I ordered 1 t-shirt in my size and then the sublimation paper that I want to use just to practice, just to make sure that I can actually like do it before I order everyone's shirts. And it was $27 for the paper and the like 1 shirt. I will be getting reimbursed for the price of the actual shirts from people. We're using the Batch app. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's like an app literally designed to like plan bachelor parties. So there's like, if you have an invoice that you want to add in, people pay for like their portion of food or transportation or cleaning or the Airbnb or whatever. And there's also itinerary. So there's things that we're doing. There's dress codes and time frames and all that stuff. So it's a really helpful app actually. But I added the fee in to be reimbursed by the weekend of the bachelorette party, so there's no super rush there. It should be around a little over $100 for all of the materials and the shirts and everything. So I'm not going to charge them exactly because, but I will be reimbursed a little bit. But for the initial order of the sublimation paper and my shirt, it was $27. So I'm just going to say we have $5.88 left in there right now, before I actually, you know, make the big order. But we are adding 10 just from this week's budget. So we should have, whoa, $598 for that. But that's it for my sinking funds for right now. And then we are going to go over to my bills. My bills for my bills. So mortgage is getting 81. If you guys missed it, sorry, 50, 70, 81. If you guys missed it, I did do a debt update video yesterday. I will link it up in the cards for you guys. And yes, I know that I've been making a couple of those recently, so if you skipped it, I totally get it. But I did have a pretty major update in that one. I did do a credit transfer from my Best Buy credit card, or to my Best Buy credit card, I guess, from Discover It. So that the Discover It card will pay off the Best Buy credit card. And then I have 18 months of no interest to pay off the Discover It card. And with the new budget plan that I made for this whole system, it should be paid off a few months early, but I will be able to budget a little bit less each week towards that debt because I'm not worrying about the interest that's accruing. So, because we were going so, like, you know, hammering down on that Best Buy credit card and putting so much each month toward it because I wanted to avoid that interest accruing. So now that it's not, I can breathe a little bit and I can live a little bit easier, put a little bit more towards saving and sinking funds and food and just in general better quality of life, I guess, right now, just adding a couple extra months of payments, if that makes sense. So just to make up for the first week, we have 50, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, 110, and 111 in mortgage, because I basically did, like, week 1 was a totally different budget plan, and then week 2 and moving forward is like very, very different. So we're just making up for that. Internet is getting $12, so a 10 and 2 ones, and we have 10, 15, 20, 21, 2, 3, and 24 in internet. What I'll actually do is I will link up here my entire playlist for my debt videos, kind of going from start to finish if you're interested in just all of my debt decisions and the journey and how I've been kind of making adjustments along the way, just if you're interested. So 50, 65, and 2 ones for 67 is going into electric today. So we have $100 in the bank just as a buffer in Ally. And then 50, 60, 70, 85, 90, 91, 92, and 93. So 193 total for electric. Every time you see these, I do sell these in my shop and they are discounted, my in the bank custom placeholders, so I can just update these as I go and I don't have to worry about putting a bunch of placeholders in my envelopes. And I also have IOUs and fully funded in that same style if you're interested. But every time you see me have one of those, it represents money that is currently in my high yield savings account with Ally. There is a link in the description box to sign up if you're interested. I love Ally. You can basically make electronic cash envelopes so you can separate your money out. So it's not just one big bulk account. You can separate it out between the different categories and it accrues interest. So rather than just sitting here in cash, it is growing, which I love. So we're adding 15 to heat and we have 10, 15, 20, and 25, but I feel like I remember someone said that I didn't put a placeholder in here, and that makes sense now looking at it because I know that we do have a buffer in heat. I want to say it was actually I really don't remember how much it is, so I'm logging into Ally right now just to see what's currently in there. But
if you want to just quickly take a look, I have like this total available balance of 7,155. That's all the cash that I've moved over there. But for my different, like I have 250 in car payment, 85 in flow, 15 new car, 125 garage. Okay, so my heat buffer is 130, but I have electronic, essentially cash envelopes for a lot of my categories. So, and actually, bridesmaid was, yeah, that was right. Okay. So what did I say? 130 in our unstuffing last week, which I will link up in the cards for you guys. I just forgot to add a little placeholder in here, but we have 130 in the bank, and then 10, 15, 20, and 25 in cash for my heat buffer for future oil and pellet orders. So 155 total. Water and sewer is getting $10. We have 300 in the bank and 10 in cash. So 310. The bill should come next month, and it should be due at the end of June. So since we're so far ahead on this, I should hopefully be able to pay it before waiting until the end of the month, like right when we get it. So that'll be nice. So phone, I got 10, and we have 10, 20, and 25 in here. Car insurance is getting 15, so a 10 and a 5. And we have $500 currently in the bank, and then 10, 20, 35, and 40. So 540. I pay this every 6 months. And when I got my new car, the rate went down, so I don't fully know how much it's going to be. So I'm budgeting to oversave for it just in case. Pet insurance is getting 5. So we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And Aria does have a vet appointment tomorrow, so I will keep you guys updated. I mean, I guess on Thursday, I'll let you guys know what the process is like for like submitting the claim, because it'll be the first time that I've done that. But yeah, it's just her annual vet appointment, but I did pay extra for the pet insurance to cover wellness visits. So we'll see. But Washville got 5, so we have 10, 15, and 20. This is my car wash membership. I'm doing my best to take care of my car. So this is the last month that it's going to be at $20 because they were doing a promotion, but it will be $30 moving forward, which I can handle, I think. Registration's not getting anything today, and neither is Flow because that is fully funded. This is what the fully funded placeholders look like. But Sam's Club is getting 5 today. And this is annual as well. This is due in February. So we have 65 in the bank, 65, 70, and 75 total. And what? I need 110. So we're 35 away from fully funding this. So I will stuff $5 for the next few weeks, and then that should be good to go. All right, moving down to debt. So right off the bat, so I haven't updated this yet. I did make a new envelope for Discover It, so I will pop that right in there, and then the payment that I had planned to make, I'm just going to move it over here for now. I did get a comment regarding interest. So in my debt video, I was explaining that because of when I applied for the Discover It card, in the past, my coworker and I came to the conclusion that the reason that my interest calculations weren't adding up is because it was only calculating interest based off the balance on the day that my payment was due. So my due date for my payments for Best Buy is the 28th. And I had made a 2-week early payment that was more than the minimum. So I didn't have anything due. And then the second half of the month, when I made the extra $700 payment, I made that on the 30th. So it was 2 days after the due date, but still before the next statement was generated. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But the interest that was calculated was based off of a balance that was $700 less. So we came to the conclusion that I do need to make the full payment before the due date in order for the interest to calculate correctly based on my plan. Of course, this is irrelevant now, but I mentioned in yesterday's video that because of the day that I applied for the Discover It credit transfer, it basically was like it takes 2 weeks for the card to 2 weeks of the card being active for it to do the credit transfer. And then once they initiate the credit transfer, it can take around 4 days. So if that's the case, that lands on the 27th. So if the credit transfer goes through on the 27th or the 28th, we're good to go, and hopefully no interest will accrue. But if it does take a little bit longer and it hits later, I could be hit with a missed payment. So I've been thinking about maybe doing like a smaller, I don't really know 100%, because the credit balance that I requested for the transfer was the full thing. So I don't know how it works. Maybe I should just call them and see if there's a refund or something. I don't know. I doubt it. But, and then also interest would in turn accrue on the total balance, as of that due date. So obviously if they pay it off in time and it's 0, no interest should accrue, right? So I had someone comment, saying that interest accrues every single day. So interest will accrue no matter what. But that doesn't really make sense to me, because I do know that people say interest accrues every day. So make half payments or whatever. But if the payment is paid off in full by the due date, no interest should accrue, right? That would kind of defeat the whole point of people using credit cards. People who do use credit cards accurately and responsibly, they'll rack up a bill and then they'll pay off the full amount, and they're not paying interest. You're only getting interest that accrues if you don't pay off the full balance each month. Even with my other credit cards, when I had a final balance on my Care credit card, or I used my TJ's card throughout the month, I paid it off at the end of the month, and there was no interest that accrued on the charges that I made. So I do understand what you're saying in that aspect, but I don't think that that's correct. Now, if I sound super ignorant and I'm blatantly wrong, please do correct me. But from what I understand, as long as you pay off the balance in full by the due date at the end of the month, you're not going to pay any interest moving forward. Obviously you'll pay the back interest that was already accrued, but if my balance is $500 and I pay $500 by the end of the month before it's due, I shouldn't be charged any interest the next month on that $500, right? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Anyway, moving forward, Discover It is getting $10. You guys, don't hate me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I just looked up at my camera and it wasn't recording, and I looked back and it was literally right before I started stuffing my debt binder. But I'm so sorry. We stuffed $10 into Discover It, so we have $260 in there now. I said that I am leaving my Best Buy envelope in here just in case interest does accrue next month, and I'll just budget for that next month. Care credit, we put $25 in here. We have $50 left, and I mentioned that again, I'm budgeting $350 this month for care credit for my vet bills. That is an anticipated vet expense. Yes, I have come to the conclusion after talking to people online and people around me that my vet's office is very expensive. Apparently, it's the most expensive vet's office in the area. I didn't know that, but we tried getting in other places and we can't. So,
they're just not accepting new patients like ever. But of course, I don't know how much the vet appointment's actually going to be. It's tomorrow, so we'll see. And I also don't know how much I'm going to be reimbursed from my pet insurance. We use Spot, by the way. So I don't know how much we're going to be reimbursed. So I'm going to, if I end up over budgeting like an insane amount this month, then I'll just adjust next month and we'll figure it out as we go. Credit cards are paid off. I put 23 into car payments, so we have 61. $100 into student loans, so we had 225. I miscounted this like 3 times and I confused the heck out of myself, so I guess I caught you guys from having to watch that. And then we put $20 into paying my brother back, so we have 45. I apologize. I did not realize that I was not filming that, so that sucks. But we are going to move into my yearly savings challenge binder. So we finished January, February, March, and April, and we're on to May. And we are adding $10 this week. Luckily, this is a lower income, like a lower monthly amount this month. I'm going to fill in a 10. And I mean, for the first 2 weeks of the month, our Etsy paychecks have been on the lower end. So I guess that's nice. I can actually keep up with this, hopefully. But these savings challenges and envelopes are available in my shop, and they're discounted if you're interested. And the markers are also linked in the description just from Amazon. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 saved in here. I may use this as an extra debt payment or an emergency fund, or maybe I might invest the whole thing into my Roth IRA. I don't really know yet, but as of right now, we are saving it. So there's that. And then we are going to put this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 into the baby binder. You guys, I got to meet my my friend's new daughter the other day, and you guys, baby fever is freaking real. I can't even get into it because it's a lot of emotions. But I'm gonna go back to, so we have a bunch of categories, but I do have some new envelopes, as you guys saw before. So we didn't end up getting to stuff school supplies, so I'm gonna put 2 in here. I was inspired by Brianna Budgets to Budget with Amanda to add some of these new categories. I already had emergency, but I didn't have childcare, birthdays, or school supplies. And she has a baby binder as well, and some of those categories just seemed kind of important. So I'm gonna skip emergency since these are like new and they're kind of behind. I'm gonna throw a couple more into each: birthdays and childcare and school supplies, just to kind of bulk them up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back and just put that last one into medical, because that is the one that we are currently trying to pay down. So that is it for my baby binder. This is from Savannah at SavSave. She makes these out of actual storybooks, and the pages and trackers are like from actual pages of the books. It's freaking amazing. She does sell these on a drop basis, and they are one of a kind. So like, I can't link this specific book, but definitely her Etsy and YouTube channels are linked in the description of every video. So definitely subscribe, put on your notifications so that you are notified when she drops a like Etsy launch video and she shows what's in the launches. And then last but not least, we are going to add these $4 into our $1 savings challenge. It does look pretty, what is the word I'm trying to think of? I mean, it looks small right now. It looks sad right now, but I have been using this to make change when I don't take out the right denomination. So we have like a 20, we have a couple 10s in there. So
Imagine that it's thicker right now, but we'll still be unstuffing this at the end of the year.
But that is going to wrap up today's cash stuffing, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a yellow heart in the comments to show your support for the channel. And of course, subscribe. Check back in on Thursday for our Thankful Thursday cash stuffing. And then this weekend, who knows, maybe we'll have another budget with me, most likely, and then maybe a vlog here or there. We'll see. Don't forget, you guys, my Mother's Day sale is still active. So until Wednesday, the 14th, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my shop is on sale. There's a link in the description if you're interested. Check out Upside and Fetch, some of those apps, those rewards apps that I highly recommend. But with all that being said, thank you so much for sticking around with me, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.